Hey, what's up? This is Coach Raheen, and I have a message for you. And the message that I have for you is 10 highly effective ways to overcome your fear. And overcoming fear is something that many people have been trying to do for a very long period of time. The struggle that many of us have with overcoming fear is not realizing what fear actually is. I've seen definitions of fear, and one that I kind of like is the fear being characterized as false events appearing real. Now, false events appearing real is all about understanding that there's an event that's taking place that you are understanding in a negative or unrealistic manner. In other words, say, for example, if you drive your car and driving your car causes you to be fearful. Well, where's the fear actually coming from? The fear is actually coming from what you think is going to happen or what could happen as a result of driving your car. Now, the challenge is for you to be able to drive your car and not allow those events that you think may happen to come to reality. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 10 highly effective ways of overcoming the fear that you may feel inside of you. Okay. The first thing that I want you to, number one way to overcome your fear is to understand that fear is natural. Fear is something that we all feel, is one of our emotions. And within our range of emotions, fear is the one that helps us. It helps us survive. It helps us understand the world around us. It helps keep us safe. So if we're looking at that situation when you're driving your car and you're on the highway and everybody's doing about 60 or 70 miles per hour, and then someone who is driving in a weird way decides to cut in front of you, that fear gives you the impulse you need in order to make the adjustment so you can avoid an accident and not create an accident while trying to avoid an accident. So fear is actually for you, is part of your physiological makeup. It helps us. It's an emotional response that gives us energy and drives us to make a decision that's going to be helpful to us, to our survival. So that's number one. First, realize that fear is natural. Number two, fear is not in the present. Fear is always somewhere else. Realize that in order to eliminate fear, we have to be present and in the moment. Like right now, I'm sitting in front of my computer. I'm recording this video to try to help as many people as I possibly can who are dealing with fear. And I'm in a safe environment. I'm in my office, right? So for me to imagine that I'm not safe in my office, that's what creates the fear, but I'll be present. And one way that you can make sure that you're being present is to do simple things, which is to focus on the immediate present. What's going on right this second? In other words, focus on your hands. Focus on the computer that's sitting right in front of you. Focus on your breathing. Are you inhaling? Are you exhaling? Focus on being present and in this moment. That's what's going to help you eliminate the fear that you feel in your body, because you can't fear something that's not actually happening if you're not focusing on it. Okay. So the third thing that you can do to eliminate fear is to not live in the past. So many people, when they are feeling fear, it's the result of something that has already happened. That event has taken place and is over. Is no longer in your present situation, but in your mind, you're replaying the events. And the easiest way to eliminate that is to discontinue playing those events. Be present in a moment. See and feel where you're at right now. Focus on the now. So many things in our society have trained us to focus on what took place in the past. Now, I appreciate history and I appreciate the past, but I appreciate it from a learning standpoint, not from a living standpoint. I learn from the past. as we all should, but I live in the present. If you live in the present, you'll eliminate that fear faster than you'll ever be able to appreciate. Another thing that you can do, number 4, the fourth thing that you can do is to not live in the future. Now, setting goals in the future, and I'm a big fan of planning for the future, looking forward to things that you want to have happen. But once again, you don't want to live in the future. You want to live in the present, because what you do in the present is ultimately going to become the future. But if you live in the future sense of, man, I've had a rough life, so I know my life in the future is going to be rough. Now you're projecting your fear into the future, which is problematic because it will cause you to feel undue stress in your body, your head tightening, sweaty palms, nervousness, all of these things that make you aware of something that has not taken place. Again, false events appearing real. The future is an illusion, is a projection, is something that we see into, but is not part of the actual present. So be present in the moment. Don't live in the future. Here's the 5th thing that you can do to eliminate fear in your life. Refocus your mind on what you want. Most people, when you really think about it, the things that you fear are distractions. They're not the actual things that you want to have happen. They are the things that you don't want to have happen. So if you take control of what you focus on and focus on what you want, you will walk and your body will move in the direction of what you want. And all of the distractions, the things that you don't want to have happen, will fall to the side. Our brain has a interesting way of filtering out the things that we do not focus on. So if you focus in your mind very clearly on what you want, you'll get what you want. But if you focus on the things that you don't want, you will get those too. So focus your mind on what you want. That'll help you eliminate the fear. Here's the 6th thing that you can do. Don't blame others. Most times we feel a sense of fear when we are trying to blame somebody else for something that has taken place in our life. And the fear comes in when we realize that, guess what? What we have in our life is the result of what we have been doing and thinking. Our own actions bring to us what we focus in on, the things that we see in our life. So anytime you blame somebody else, you're giving away control of the situation. You're giving away your power in the situation. And when you give away control and you give away power, you experience powerlessness and a lack of control. Lack of control and powerlessness should make you feel fear, because that's your body's natural way of letting you know, hey, you need to get control of the situation. We cannot be in a situation where we're out of control and we're powerless, because those situations will create a detrimental environment for who we are and the purpose that we are born to do. How we plan to serve, our reason for being here. So the fear comes in and says, hey, get in control. Stop blaming others and take control of your life. Stop giving away your power and feel powerful. Put your hands firmly on the steering wheel and guide you yourself to what you want from life. Here's the 7th thing that you can do to eliminate fear out of your life. Change your role. Make your character courageous. So many times, the reason why we feel fear is because we are playing the role of a person who is fearful. Now, this may be hard for some people to grasp, especially if you play in the realistic arena too much. In other words, you all automatically assume that life is so real that is not actually something that you can control. Events are out of your control, but the truth is that we're all playing a role. A very easy way to acknowledge that is to realize that we are all part of a culture, and our cultures are tied to specific areas and locations that we live. For example, you'll notice that in certain areas, people speak certain languages. In certain areas, people practice different religions. In certain areas, people are more prone to have these types of jobs versus other types of jobs. Well, what does all of those things mean? That means that your role is developed according to the location that you were reared in and the belief system that you accepted as your belief system. But the truth is that we can alter the role that we play. We create our characters every single day of the week. And because we're creating our roles, we also can create the courageous role. In fact, if you talk to someone who you see as courageous long enough, you'll realize that, you know what, they feel fear just like everybody else. The difference between someone who is courageous in character and someone who is fearful in character is that the courageous person feels the fear and has trained themselves to react and respond anyway in the face of fear. That's the only difference. So you can call upon yourself to bring forth the emotion of courage just like you brought forth the emotion of fear. It's completely up to you. That's always within your control. Don't get caught in the illusion of thinking that you have no control over your life. You have 100% control over your life every single day. And the emotions that you feel are based on the belief systems that you have within you. This is why some people succeed and some people do not succeed. The person who succeeds is the one who believes that they can succeed. The person who fails is the one who has given up on succeeding, because the person who succeeds can tell you that they failed plenty of times before they succeeded. Succeeding is all about overcoming. So if you want to overcome your fears, you have to build into your character the success character, the character of courage, overcoming what you fear. Here's the 8th thing that you can do to overcome your fear. Don't make what you fear the entire story. So often when people feel fear, they allow it to multiply and grow. I remember when I was a teenager, one of the first books that I read was a book called You Can't Afford the Luxury of a Negative Thought by Peter McWilliams. It's an excellent book, especially for teenagers, because it's a very easy read and it's small, and it is a big book, but it's a small book. And as you go through reading the book, you begin to realize how quick the pages turn. Because, when you're a teenager, I know for me, when I was a teenager, I really didn't enjoy reading. It was only because of this book and others that I learned that books are like movies. Some movies are good, some movies are bad. But the point that I'm trying to make is that when we make fear the entire story, we do what Peter McWilliams said is, we snowball the event. We take all of these events and we clump them together, and we keep clumping more things because fear has magnetism attached to it. So when you allow fear to become your entire story, it doesn't get smaller and it doesn't stay in that relative position. It grows. You start to realize all of the things you fear. You start thinking about any little thing that can cause you harm, right? That's not the purpose of fear. Fear is your emotion, is one of your emotions, and is there to give you a signal, not to run your life. So don't allow fear to tell the whole story. Realize that fear is just one of the emotions within the story. A good story will have a range of emotions: happy, sad, fearful, courageous. All of these are different parts of your story. Here's the 9th thing that you can do in order to overcome your fear. And this one is by far one of my favorites. I always do this. And number 9 is find the diamonds within your fears. So many times in life will present us with situations where, it seems tough. It seems like you can't overcome, but the truth is you can overcome. And if you look hard enough, there's always a silver lining in every cloud. That fear is your emotion. It was given to you to help you, not to hurt you. So find the diamonds in every situation. Do not allow your fear to become something that you have to run away from or you try to avoid. When you feel fear, embrace it. Know that that fear is there trying to tell you something. Don't avoid it or block it. Use it to your advantage. The number 10 thing that you can do to overcome your fears is to take control of your inner world. Just think. Right now, you're listening or watching this video. And while you're listening and watching this video, you have a whole inner world that's taking place. You're breathing, your blood is circulating, your brain is functioning, is processing this information that I'm giving you, is causing you to feel a range of emotions. You're thinking about events that you may have to endure for the day, or you're thinking about goals that you want to achieve, or you're thinking, man, I feel all this fear. That's why I clicked on this video and I'm hoping there's something there that actually helped me. You are the creator of your inner world. You, nobody else. Don't give away the power of thinking that, life is just happening and, you have no control over it. Your inner world is what gives you the power to control your outer world. Everything that you see on the outside of you is defined and identified by the thoughts that you have in your mind. Knowledge of self is so critical for you to overcome your fear, because if you understand that fear is just one of your emotions, it is not your only emotion, then you can, guess what? You can comprehend that fear. You can understand it. You can say, you know what? This fear that I feel is one of my natural emotions trying to tell me something. How should I best respond? Don't allow your fear to drive you. Allow your fear to inform you and make a decision that is intelligent and serves you. Do not allow your fear to put you in a situation where now fear is in the driver's seat and everything that you see is interpreted through the lens of fear. You don't have to do that. Some people do that, and that's their choice. You don't have to be fearful of everything that comes your way. You can choose to be courageous. Remember, manage your thoughts. Don't let your thoughts manage you. Manage your thoughts. Don't let your thoughts manage you. When you manage your thoughts, you choose what you want to think about. And in choosing what you want to think about, you will automatically receive the emotions associated with those thoughts. If your mindset is fear is happening, what can I learn from it? Then you'll learn from it. If your thoughts are fear is happening, I need to run and hide, the world is coming to an end, then you're going to receive the emotions that are associated with running and hiding. Take control of your life by realizing that you are the creator, the architect of your inner world. You. If you need help, reach out to me, CoachRaheem.com. I'd love to coach you and help you. If you need me to come and speak at your event, because there are so many people out there who are going through life and in a very fearful way. I'd love to come speak to you and your group. This is my mission. This is what I do. I love helping people. That's why I put these videos out. So I want you to really think, who is in control of your life? And if it's not you, certainly don't let it be the events around you that is causing you to believe that fear is the world that you live in. You are the architect of your world. This is Coach Raheem. Until next time. Peace.